I mean, when everyone will speak potentially in the same AI language?
Yeah, but human brains shrink by 10%.
Wow.
With learning, unlearning, and relearning. Speed is always relevant till you are moving in the right direction.
We will ask AI to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Is history a barometer of predicting the future?
Welcome to another exciting episode of Walk the Talk. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics that's revolutionizing how we do our work, how we interact with people, and how we operate as an individual, which is AI, and whether you call it artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence. Now let's figure it out through our conversation today with none other than with Mr. Mahinder, who is pretty vocal about this topic here in the UAE, and he has conducted many sessions, whether in person or virtual, which have been pretty useful for the wider community here in this country as well as outside this country. So without further ado, let me welcome Mr. Mahinder and take this conversation forward. Hi Mahinder.
Hi Akash.
How are you?
It's a pleasure to be here with you. We have been interacting with each other on several platforms. I always get inspired by your confidence, the way you add value, and I hope I would be able to do the same on your talk show.
No, definitely. I'm pretty sure that our listeners today are going to gain tremendous amount of insights and learnings. So yeah, let's kick off. Let's start with what AI is. Let's break it down in simpler terms. So yeah, what is AI in simple terms?
Absolutely. So I'll love to use a textbook definition of AI, which I had heard during my graduation days. So artificial intelligence, as the movies also talk about, is all about creating machines which are either similar to or better performing than humans. So that's simply put about. So anything which is equivalent to or better than us is potentially AI. So if ChatGPT or if any other simple solution can do a job better than you, then it is AI. Just like your watch, if it is better at telling time than you, then potentially in that form it's also AI.
Would it be right to say that these are better than what human
output would be?
Do you agree with that statement from the textbook?
So I would again use another textbook example for answering this textbook question. So during my MBA, one of our professor always used to say this, and this is before the AI became a buzzword. He said that speed is always relevant till you are moving in the right direction. Okay. So if I'm heading towards the right direction, speed is important. Now, what are these AI tools doing? They are making us faster. I'm not saying they are always making us better, but if we don't really pause and think, are we using this in the right direction? Maybe you are heading towards the wrong direction. And in that case, maybe we are worse off using AI. But if you're using it in the right manner, this definitely is something which would make you as a better individual.
I read something that if you want to predict your future, you have to look at your past. So do you think, to gauge as to how AI will impact our future, are there any learnings that we can take from our past to assess, okay, this is how it's going to be maybe 50 years down the line or 100 years down the line potentially?
There is a very interesting book which is called as Siddhartha.
Okay.
It's not really a documentary. It's more a novel itself, but it's based on a time when Gautam Buddha was arriving. It's one of the bestseller. Now, why am I talking about that and how it makes sense today? So let me tell you, it is a book about a monk who is in search of enlightenment, similar to Buddha. Okay, and he eventually founds it near a river, the Peace. Okay, and now I take your statement forward. So it's always important that in this world of data and AI, where we are thinking about more number crunching, more analysis, it's not always more is basically doing a lot or using a lot of data and analytics. Sometimes more is going to be how do you process less, and how it comes through our Vedas and everything talks about it comes through peace of mind, or when there is a calmness in mind. Okay, it's not the person who hits the bullseye has a calm mind, and there is a story, right? Arjuna hitting the eye of the sparrow, and he was not focusing on anything else. So So in this world of AI, it is important to get away from those distractions
Yeah.
and take a pause and work with a calm mind.
Mahinder, we have seen internet boom in 1990s where flow of information was democratized, and previously only few used to have access to information, but with the internet now everyone has access to information real time. Now with the artificial intelligence, with the tools that we have today in the world, some are free, some are paid. Now do you think the intelligence will be democratized? Now, earlier only information was democratized. Now if everyone will have access to same, or which is advanced form of intelligence, even without going to college, even without undertaking any degree or courses, how you think like we as human species will evolve? I mean, when everyone will speak potentially in the same AI language.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thought, and potentially not many of us would have thought about it this way. So I think there are like everything, like every coin, there is positives and negatives to it, and in this one there is definitely a positive as well, that we have access to knowledge which we did not have earlier. And with the advent of computers also, we were saying that people would become jobless. Did it truly happen? No. We learned how to live with computers. I'm sure we would learn how to live with intelligence as well, right? And this would evolve human species in a manner that many of us may not have anticipated. Like our future generations may be much more intelligent than us. Things which took us hundreds of years to invent may be invented in few years. So our cycle of growth may be enormous. And why do I say that? There is history to prove that. Like you said, is history a barometer of predicting the past? So I think we as humans have gone through two major stages of evolution. Okay, when the human species learned how to create food. Earlier we were hunters, we were gatherers, right? But when we learned how to create food, we were no longer restricted to hunting animals or being around the shores of the rivers. Now what that meant, and science says that when we learned how to create food, it changed the dynamics, because the human population spread beyond just the river banks, because typically river banks were the places where we used to hunt.
Situated,
But one more thing happened, like with every positive there is something negative. Our human brains shrinked by 10%.
Wow.
Because we didn't really needed to be always alert to be in a situation either to hunt or maybe on a risk of getting hunted. Same thing happened when we learned how to create and store energy, or what we call as electricity. It led to what we now call as industrial revolution.
Right.
And if you talk about it, right now we are at a stage where we have learned how to create intelligence.
Wow.
We are at the cusp of it. I'll go back to the history when we moved from learning from hunting to how do we learn by creating food, which is through farming or animal husbandry. We lost our brain size by 10%. With so much intelligence already available to us, will we stop learning? That's a question which has to be answered potentially in next few years.
Now I'm thinking, see, artificial intelligence, what it is an intelligence created by humans, right? And it is learning from the data that is being put in by humans. So that data has already been derived by humans. So can we say, is it right to say that artificial intelligence is not creating something new? It is only giving us answers which are already there in the world, maybe not accessible to everyone. Now they are accessible to everyone, but it's not giving us something which is completely out of this world. Maybe some human or some person has already figured it out and put in the model, and now it is equally distributed to all of us in the world. Is it right to say that?
To an extent it is absolutely right, because it is basically scanning across a vast amount of data and giving us the answer. So like it's like saying our human brain, which generally works on greedy concept, which means it searches for the latest available information. We are using this, and I'll use your term, augmented intelligence. We are using this augmented intelligence to not use only the latest information, but scan through the information which is available in my brain, potentially your brain, and potentially hundreds or millions of other brains, to give the most relevant answer. So we can think about it that way as well.
So it's nothing new. It's already, someone has decoded it. Someone has already set the precedent. So if we are not learning something new, and if we are only relying on information which is already there, do you think, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, how do we then become better humans? Because if I completely rely on one person's interpretation, which is coming as an output through the AI model or AI chatbot, then am I stopping my brain to think further? Maybe I'm completely relying on that output.
So let me agree as well as disagree with you at the same time. Now, one part of it, is it using previous information and giving the answer? It's not a normal Q&A bot. Like let's talk about APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay. We all learned physics in school. We all learned chemistry in school. You also learned the same book. APJ Abdul Kalam also learned the same book. I also learned the same book. Now, what is AI? It's basically, that's a foundational knowledge. And humans then use that foundational knowledge to invent something new. Now, what is going to happen with this? While I agree to your viewpoint that we are looking at a lot of information that is available already, but we are also using this knowledge base to create something new which is not known. Because if one person or a team of scientists is researching on a concept, they have limited access to information. But using this strong AI model, maybe they can access or do the task which may have required 1 year to finish it off in a month. So that every 10 years, 15 years, we go through major transformations, right? Maybe that cycle would get reduced to 3 years. So that's the positive side to it also.
We spend a lot of time researching just to set the groundwork, right? Just to, we don't need to spend a lot of time just to research on petty things. If it is already available through these chatbots or through these models, then I think it's helping us finish those tasks early. If we finish something early, then we can move on to the next one early. So the transformation that you spoke about, potentially it's maybe 2 years, 3 years we are transforming as a generation. It's a very interesting thought.
But I would also agree to one of the point you said. Are we looking at the same data point? So I feel, now this is very personal definition of what really differentiates us as a human from machines. And you would agree to this word, it has been heavily used term. Human success is all about learning, unlearning and relearning. Correct? We learn certain methods which were potentially relevant when 10 years back when we were in school. We unlearn because with the advent of AI, things have started changing, and we are relearning new technologies. Okay. Now this is just out of the blue. This is a school of thought which maybe just sound like a conspiracy theory, but AI is looking at 100 to 100 years of data, old data. Sometimes it may throw and give you methods which potentially, as humans, we should have unlearned, or as an ecosystem we should have unlearned. So that is also one thing, right? We as a humans have continuously evolved. Will these models also evolve continuously?
That we don't know.
That we don't know.
But so then is it the responsibility of the person who is making these models to, I don't know, put some configuration in the model algorithm that they keep pace with the human evolution? Is it I don't know, I'm just thinking, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a technical person, but is it like possible?
I mean, it is possible, but I would say the responsibility is not of the creator, it's of the user, because creators are few. We are the users. We need to think
and respond back.
Are we using the most advanced technology? Otherwise, like you said, we would all talk the same language,
like aliens or like robots.
It
will be like an episode from a Terminator movie.
Exactly. And we don't want to go through that.
We don't want to go through that. Yeah, exactly. Do you think the importance of quality will improve? Like right now, when we see things which are handmade, when
Yeah.
we see things which are organic, which are not coming straight out of a factory, they are valued more as a
Yeah,
human subconscious
yeah, yeah.
mind. I see something organic in a supermarket,
true, true,
handmade, handicraft, something. I automatically pick that up as against something made out of a factory.
Factory, true.
So in the future, when majority of the population will be driving their output through these AI speaking the same language, do you think a person who has stepped up and created their own version of things, will they be valued more if they have spent more time in researching, more time in drafting and putting it into picture? Will those matter more than AI?
That's a very interesting perspective, and I'll share a story that I came across few days back on radio. So there was a competition of generating images through AI.
Okay.
And the person who won the competition was disqualified.
Oh,
And it is interesting to know why he was disqualified, because in that competition of generating images through AI, he had clicked a picture of his own and he had participated through that particular picture. So his image was so differentiated compared to others that he actually won the contest. So I think that really truly makes sense. And
so he cheated.
He cheated.
He effectively cheated. He wanted to stand out. He wanted AI to look normal.
So, but that really worked for
that
him.
resonated with the audience, and they made him win. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Coming back to the one of the previous topics that we discussed, that when we are running out of time, sometimes we forget to sit back, relax, and think. Okay, what are we doing? Are we really moving forward, or are we simply leveraging on these AI tools to generate outputs without adding a touch of yourself?
True.
Like every human is different, right? We are almost 8 billion people on this planet, and none of them can say I am similar to the other person.
True.
Imagine there are 8 billion different human beings. If they are not adding a touch of themselves in the report, then or their output, then I think we are
Plagiarizing everything.
We are plagiarizing everything, and we are losing as a human race.
True.
We are falling behind. Maybe there is an alien species which is looking at us right now and smiling. My mission is achieved. They are all following the same direction, because imagine 8 billion people falling in the same direction, and at the end of the direction there is a well. Then we are all falling in that well. So there has to be some sort of personal intelligence, I would say, PI. Instead of just AI, maybe artificial personal intelligence. We can call it API, but that will be, I think, really valued in the times to come, when people have started interviewing using AI tools, started preparing test results using AI tools. So I think that will play a big role in the times to come.
True.
So now we are towards the last session of our podcast, and we'll make it interesting, Mahinder. How we'll make it interesting? We will ask AI to ask you some rapid fire questions, and you just need to respond them in few words. One word is also enough. So over to you, ChatGPT.
All right, let's do it. Mahinder, first question. What's the one tech gadget you can't live without?
You.
All right, next question. What's one book that you think everyone should read at least once?
Timeless leadership.
Mahinder, what's one AI development that excites you the most right now?
Maybe the images or the video creation. That's something very interesting.
All right, next AI question. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about AI?
That it is always right.
Even AI can have its off moments. All right, let's do one last AI themed question. Where do you see AI making the biggest impact in the next 5 years?
I think everywhere, right from education to healthcare to inventions, everywhere. This is where the future is moving to.
Thanks, Mahinder.
Thank
Amazing
you so
conversation.
much, Thank you so
and
much.
we would love to have part 2 of this conversation, because I'm pretty sure this topic is not going anywhere, and we are not going anywhere. So we'll be back soon.
But part 2 with 3, you, me, and AI.
Perfect. Thanks.